Just setting up the live stream, 1 second.
Baby, I love you. Oh, Lordy. Baby, I love you.
Okay, we're going live.
Honey, I love you. I declare, honey, I love you so much. You've been gone so long, 'cause I miss you so. Now, Lordy, why did you hurt me? I declare now, Lordy, why did you hurt me so bad? You've been gone so long, 'cause I miss you so. Now, Lordy, honey, I love you. Oh, Lordy, honey, I love you. You've been gone so long, know that hurt you so. You've been gone so long, know that hurt you so. You've been gone so long, know that hurt you so. To read about the flood, happened a long time ago. A little country town, Tupelo, Mississippi. It rained and it rained. It rained both night and day. The people got worried, didn't have no place to go, and no one to turn to, Lord, but you. They moaned and began to moan. Save me, Lord. Save me from the mighty flood. That was women and that was children. They were screaming and crying. Lord, we have no one to turn to but you. Please save us, Lord. Little country town, Tupelo, Mississippi. Tupelo is gone.
Good evening. My name is Elaine Westbrooks. I'm the Vice Provost and University Librarian at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I'd like to welcome all of you to tonight's event, our virtual event called Boom Boom, the Music of John Lee Hooker. This event is the second event in a series, our Folk Legacy series, celebrating great legacies in American vernacular music. Our first installment, Won't You Come and Sing With Me, celebrated the music of Hazel Dickens and Alice Gerrard. And in case you missed it, it's available on YouTube right now. So let's talk about John Lee Hooker. He was an enduring artist who influenced so many people, I mean, many phases of popular music from the post-World War II up until the 1990s. And he continues to influence artists today. His percussive style of guitar playing with stomping chords and walking bass lines was one in which he learned as a boy in the Mississippi Delta from his stepfather, Will Moore, who was a Louisiana-born guitarist who played in a different style from the Delta players. Hooker's blues stylings over the course of 70 years would cover nearly every facet from traditional country blues to rhythm and blues and rock and roll. Hooker's classic songs, performances, and recordings have been widely admired and have influenced generations of blues and rock musicians. He's a member of the Blues Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's a National Heritage Fellow and a recipient of the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. John Lee Hooker is one of America's greatest artists. The University of North Carolina Library's Southern Folklife Collection has extensive archival holdings that document John Lee's career, including the collections of the Rosebud Agency, Stefan Grossman, and Jace Albrecht. The Southern Folklife Collection's extensive holdings of videotaped performances, interviews, and over 340 original recordings are a great place to continue this exploration. And we are very honored today to have Grammy Award-winning blues musician Bobby Rush and Alvin Youngblood Hart with us tonight, along with special guest Dr. Wayne Goins. I'm going to now turn over the mic to the curator of the Southern Folklife Collection, Steve Weiss. Thank you.
Many thanks, Elaine. And I'd like to thank the Martin Guitar Charitable Foundation who've made this series possible. And I'd also like to thank Peter Gorolnik and Mike Kappas and Stacy DeHart and Jeff D'Elia, Carl Ellis, Dan Periano, Maria Estorino, Katie Fanfani, Shaw Lentz, and Leah Stanley for their advice and support. The video footage that opened this program of John Lee Hooker performing the songs Maudie and Tupelo, Mississippi is from 1960, and it appears on Stefan Grossman's Guitar Workshop DVD, John Lee Hooker, Rare Performances 1960 to 1984. I'd recommend you seek out that DVD and its companion, John Lee Hooker and Friends. The SFC is honored to be the home of the Stefan Grossman collection that includes the original video elements for those productions and many, many more. It's a great pleasure to introduce our first guest tonight, Alvin Youngblood Hart. Alvin has been described as a musician's musician and as the cosmic love child of Howlin' Wolf and Link Wray. On acoustic and electric, Alvin is one of the world's foremost blues guitarists and has received the W.C. Handy Award for the Best New Artist in 1997 and a Grammy Award for his contributions to the compilation album Beautiful Dreamer. It's a pleasure to have Alvin back with us. He was a featured guest at the SFC's Tribute to Howlin' Wolf, which we presented almost 10 years ago in 2011. So I'll turn it over to you, Alvin.
All right, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for inviting me along here. Try to get along with the technology here. First of all, just get into it. All right. Oh, queen bee, queen bee. Queen bee, please come back to me. Oh, queen bee, queen bee. Queen bee, please come back to me. She got the best of stinger that any queen bee I ever seen. She stung me this morning. I've been looking for her all day long. All right. The deafening applause. I guess we'll talk about this stuff later, but I got turned on to that thumping beat as a child. And it just kind of stuck with me once my guitar playing career began. So this is a little instrumental thing. I don't have any words, obviously. That was certainly inspired by Mr. Hooker, and it goes like this. Cakewalk. All right, do this. Listen. Lay down in the evening, just can't take my rest down. Lay down in the evening, just can't take my rest down. Cause my mind gets to ramming like the wild horses in the west. but the one thing. Baby, sure keep worrying my mind out. Said it ain't but the one thing. Baby, sure keep worrying my mind out. Want a cool drink of water in you? Give me turpentine. Man, what kind of thing is that? Wanna know, baby, where you stay that night. Wanna know, baby, where you stay that night. Say you didn't come home till the sun was shining bright. Sun shining bright, baby. Get your blue of money, babe. I sure be a millionaire. Get your blue of money, baby. I sure be a millionaire. But it's all I can do just to keep out the lucky check. All I can do, baby. Thank you. Kind friends out in cyberspace land. All right. Let me hit this. So we just had a momentous occasion, actually. I know every Mississippi guitar player from the 20th century can pretty much count Charlie Patton as a great influence, and I'm sure that includes Mr. John Lee Hooker himself, because he was there. And Charlie Patton just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, folks. So I'm gonna play first Charlie Patton song I learned when I was a youth. Jackson on a high hill, mama. That chick just blew down. Jackson on a high hill, mama. That chick just blew. Oh, chillin', you know someday, if I ever get back home, I won't be around here no more. I won't be around. For my mama getting old, go ahead and turn it gray. For my mama getting old, go ahead and turn it gray. Oh, chillin', you know how that is. Don't you know it'll break a heart? My living is away, my living is away. Woke up this morning, chainsaw around my Oh, children, you know it well. Turn my face to the wall and didn't have a thing to say. No, didn't have a thing. Said ain't no use hollering, baby. No use screaming and no use screaming and crying. Said ain't no use hollering, no use screaming and crying. Oh, sugar, you know it ain't no use. Don't you know you got a home, mama? Long as I got mine, yeah, long as I got mine. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my wicked, yeah, on my wicked soul. Oh, Lord, have mercy on my wicked soul. Oh, sugar, you know I ain't gonna mistreat you. I wouldn't mistreat you, mama, yeah, for my way didn't go, yeah, for my way didn't go. Said I'm going away, baby. Don't you wanna go? Said I'm going away now, mama. Don't you wanna go? Oh, sugar, I know you wanna. If I ever get back home, I won't be around here no more. No, won't be around. That's right. No food on my table, no sugar on my feet. No food on my table, no sugar on my feet. My children cry for mercy. They ain't got no place to call their own. Hard time, hard time, hard time. Hard times seem here like they here to stay. Hard time, hard time, hard time. Hard times seem like they here to stay. If somebody don't help me, I just can't be free around here much longer. No sugar on my feet, no food on my table too. No sugar on my feet, no sugar on my table too. My children cry for mercy. I go play the corleone. But let you have a hard time some of these days. But let you have a hard time some of these days. Give you grief like you don't know. Say you cry from door to door. If I treat you like a mother king, well then get home. So to do all she can do now some of these days. So to do all she can do now some of these days. So to do all she can do. So she back to the back on you. If I treat you like a mother king, well then get home. Father do the best he can now some of these days. Father do the best he can now some of these days. Father do the best he can. Something he can't understand. If I treat you like a mother king, well then get home. Well, let's still have a hard time someday. Well, let's still have a hard time someday. Give you grief like you don't know. Let it cry from dawn to dawn. If I treat you like a mother king, well, then get home.
Thank you. Thank you. I can get this set up here. All right. Like I said up before, you know, Mr. Hooker was a great big influence as far as getting that thumb thing down, you know. And it seems to me like it was always just something I knew in the back of my head or something rather, you know. And once I finally did decide to pick up a guitar, it kind of stayed with me. So I'll do another song here, and we got my good friend, colleague, mentor, the legendary Bobby Rush coming up real soon. But first, I was singing this little ditty.
on, baby. Get up in the mood, man, with your head and lots of phone. Get up in the mood, man, with your head and lots of phone. When I come round that corner, see my pony run. Yeah, you gonna see my pony run. Where we going? Going down the cheese along, take that right hand road. Going down the cheese along, take that right hand road. Going back to the woods, yeah. I ain't gonna stop till I come up in Big Mama. Yeah, I come up that Big Mama. All right. Thank you, folks.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Alvin.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, our next guest is the revered blues legend, the great Bobby Rush. After decades of tearing up the Chitlin circuit on a nightly basis, Bobby has broken through to the mainstream with his Grammy Award winning album Porcupine Meat. Bobby is a Blues Hall of Famer, a 12-time Blues Music Award winner. You may have seen Bobby recently in Eddie Murphy's Netflix movie Dolomite Is My Name. Bobby recently published his autobiography, I Ain't Studying Ya, My American Blues Story, co-written with Herb Powell. His latest record is Rawer Than Raw, his tribute to the great bluesman of Mississippi. It's wonderful to be with Bobby again. And Bobby's performed at UNC several times over the years in connection with Professor Bill Ferris's course in Southern music. So I'll turn it over to you, Bobby. Oh, hey, Bobby, I think you're muted. If you can unmute. Give us just a second, folks. There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl.
All right. My name is Bobby Rush. I'm a blues man. I enjoyed my brother Alvin so well. I gotten a lot of things from John Lee Hooker. To be honest with you, he impressed me so much with his licks, with his song style, being self-contained and what have you. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Most of everything you hear me do on guitar by myself, he taught me how to play along. I listened to Muddy Water and Howlin' Wolf, John Lee Hooker, and people like that for all of my life. But John Lee kind of taught me how to do the solo thing. When I say solo, the unplugged thing. And when you hear the Bobby Ray song, you can hear John Lee in most of the things that I do. Although you can hear some funky thing of James Brown and some B.B. King licks, some Howlin' Wolf, some Muddy Waters. But mostly when I do my acoustic thing, unplugged, you hear a lot of John Lee Hooker. He impressed me so much. John Lee Hooker was my friend until he passed, and I got to meet him. I think he was about 32 or 33 years old man when I met him. How about that? 32 or 33 years old. And when you hear a Bobby Ray song, you can hear a lot of John Lee Hooker, a lot of boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down, right off of your feet. Take you home with me. And when you hear them kind of lick from John Lee Hooker, when you hear Barbara Ray said, come from John Lee Hooker. I'm broke and disgusted, y'all, and I'm lonely hearted too. I say I'm broke and disgusted, and I'm lonely, lonely hearted too. Won't you let me in the house so I can have a little talk with you? If I can't come in, just let me sit down here by your door. If I can't come in, little girl, just let me sit down here by your door. I'll leave so early in the morning, your real man will never know. If I can't be your full-time lover, just let me be your part-time man. If I can't be your full-time lover, well, just let me be your part-time man. If I can't see you when I want to, well, then let me see you when I can. If I can't sleep in your bed, let me lay down here on your floor. If I can't sleep in your bed, baby, well, let me sleep down here on your floor. And if I walk in my sleep, baby, you're the only one would ever know. If I can't be your big dog, let me be a little dog till your big dog come home. If I can't be your big dog, baby, let me be your little dog till your big dog come home. And I will show you, little girl, how a little dog can bear a bone. I got all that. John Lee Hooker was a friend of mine. He had a way of playing by himself with his thumb, like you see me say. John Lee Hooker. I got all of them from John Lee Hooker. John Lee Hooker was the man. You know, speaking about John Lee had a long life, lived a long time, playing what he played. He told me one time when he was about my age, 81 years old at that time, got sick and his leg was troubling. He said, Bobby Rush, I want you to do something for me. I said, what is it? He said, I got a lick I want you to play for me. And the lick he was playing was like this. So I took the lick just like he took it, but I created my lick around this lick and created a song. I went in the studio, recorded this. My baby left me few nights ago. She told me she didn't want me no more. I need some time, try to find where to get the woman out my mind. She left me drinking wine, trying to find a way to get her out my mind. I need some time, try to find where to get the woman out my mind. She left me here to cry. Didn't even tell me goodbye. I need some time, try to find where to get the woman out my mind. She left me drinking wine, trying to find a way to get the woman out my mind. I need some time, try to find way to get the woman out my mind. I need some time, way to get the woman out my mind. I need some time, way to get the woman out my mind. Johnny Hooker taught me all of those things. Johnny Hooker asked me one time, he said, Bobby Rush, he said, why do you sing the blues? Is it because your woman left you? We laughed about it. I said, no, John Lee, that ain't the only thing that make me cry, make me sing the blues. You can have the blues when your woman leave you, but you can also have the blues if they stay too long. And we laughed about it. And I said to John Lee, and he taught me to play by myself like that. Have you ever been mistreated by someone you shouldn't have loved? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you shouldn't have loved? Out of all the men my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. No matter how bad she treated me, still can't get out my mouth. Oh, no matter how bad she treated me, still can't get out my mouth. Every time I see a garbage can, I think about her and the garbage man all the time. If I ever get my woman to come back home, buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back home, I'll buy myself a garbage truck. And when my garbage can get full, I'm gonna take it and dump it way, way, way out in the woods. Johnny Hooker taught me that. I remember learning so much from John Lee Hooker and men like John Lee Hooker, because he's one of the first guys that I saw play by himself like that. Even before I met Muddy and met Muddy Waters, he had a band. But when I met John Lee Hooker, there was no band. He was playing by himself. That's how I created the kind of licks that I do with my thumb and the way I play. It's kind of like playing like John Lee Hooker, but I kind of arrived from what he taught me and what I saw him do to make my own thing. And I went my own way. When I cut chicken head, it went like this. Daddy told me on the dime bed, he said, give up your heart, but don't lose your head. You came along, what did I do? I lost my heart and my head too. Lord have mercy. Little girl, you sure can cook. Little girl, I like the way you look. When you cook that chicken, save me the head. Should be working, but I'm home in bed. Think about it. Dreaming about that. Love that girl. I love them chicken heads too. Without your love, girl, I just can't go on. Feeling I have for you is much too strong. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me ease on in. My love for you is so doggone strong. Like the Mississippi River roll on and on. If loving you was a doggone crime, I'll be sitting in jail, done flat 99. Thinking about you. Dreaming about you. Love that girl. But I love them chicken heads too. Without your love, I just can't go on. Feeling I have for you, little girl, is much too strong. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me ease on that. Now let me break it down and tell you how Jimmy Hooker inspired me. Now he was talking about boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down, right off of your feet. Take you home with me. Whoa! And that inspired me to do this here. I said, chicken in the car, and the car won't go. That's the way you spell Chicago. A knife and a fork and a plate of green. That's the way you spell New Orleans. See the girl over there with the hot pants on. Hallelujah, Johnny Hooker. Let her turn me on. Boom, 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 boom. Ow, 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 ow. Whoa! Without your love, just can't go on. Feeling I have for you is much too strong. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me ease on in. Now I want to play this because I want to let you know that when you hear the little groove on Chicken Head, it's kind of coming off of what the guy did before me, especially John Lee Hooker. Can you hear this Chicken Head like it? Chicken in the car, and the car won't go. Can't you hear this? A boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna shoot you right down, right off of your feet. Take you home, girl, and take you home with me. Ow, 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 ow. Thank you, John Lee Hooker, for showing Bobby Rose how to do a groove. And after talking to John Lee Hooker all them years of knowing that he got mistreated a lot of times like I did, didn't get his groove making the money to an old man like I am. Sometimes it make me want to dedicate something to John Lee Hooker and thank him for all he did for me. John Lee, this for you. This for my friend John Lee. How long? Somebody tell me how long, how long? How long? Somebody tell me how long, how long? If you're confused, talk about my 40 acres and my mule. Granddaddy died waiting. Grandmama died waiting too. Martin Luther King died waiting. Me and John Lee Hooker waited too. If you're confused, all I want my 40 acres and my mule. Sometimes I wonder why the world don't treat me right. Well, sometimes I wonder why the world just don't treat me right. Is it because I sing the blues? Is it because I'm black? Sometimes I wonder what's gonna happen to me when I get too old. John Lee, sometimes I wonder what's gonna happen to me when I get too old. Would you take me in your house? Would you just throw me outdoors? How long? Tell me how long, how long, how long? John Lee Hooker, oh, how long? Tell me how long, how long, how long? I know you made me feel confused. I'm still waiting on my 40 acres and my mule. I want to thank this panel for inviting me. I believe I'm the oldest blues singer around now in this category that has 397 records. Won my first Grammy when I was 83 years old. A year ago, I won my second. I've been up for a blues award 32 times. I won 18 of those. I'm so thankful that I'm considered the king of the children's circuit. But I never, in my smallest mind, want to cross over or cross out. I have a new book out now, and I want everybody to get this book and read it, not just because I want to sell it. I want you to know that you probably had it hard as I did, or even harder than I had in my life. But I've been through a lot of valleys in the 87 years, ups and downs. But if I can make it out of all I've been through, you can do it too. I want to thank my hosts for trusting me that I could ever bring something forward to you. It ain't nothing new under the sun. I'm a blues singer, but I'm a biblical study. That don't mean I'm a religion. None of that. I wrote this book, and everything in this book is true, but a couple things. One thing may not be true. I said I wouldn't sleep with a fat woman no more. I made a lie about that. So forgive me for that. But I want you to know that I'm one of the few guys who have done what I have done and made it to where I am now. Let me go someplace with this. 3 years ago, I had the box set of the year. How can you have a box set of the year and you don't own the masters? I was blessed enough to be able to have a grip and own most of my masters that I recorded through the years. And I want the young people that are looking at me today, do what I've done with John Lee Hooker. Learn from the older guys, apply it to yourself, and take it further than they could take it. I want you to look at Bobby Rush. Take what I have done, what I'm doing, what I'm planning to do, and take it further. Do your business, get your business, be a good businessman. Main thing is be good at what you do. That's what I strive to be, good at what I'm doing. You don't have to like me. You can say, I don't like old Bobby Rush, but damn, be good. That's all what matters. So thank you for allowing me to speak a little bit on the issue about Johnny Hooker because he meant so much to me. His music, what he stood for, meant so much to me in my life. Johnny Hooker, be at peace in heaven because he did something for me. He put something in my soul. All the licks you hear me playing may not be just like John Lee, but he inspired me to do what I'm doing. Thank you all for having me.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Wow. So, for tonight's panel, we want to invite the audience to submit their questions via the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom window. And I want to welcome now our panel moderator, and it's a pleasure to have Dr. Wayne Goins with us. Dr. Goins is a distinguished professor of music and director of jazz studies at Kansas State University. He's performed with jazz greats, including Kenny Burrell, Bobby Watson, Clark Terry, Joe Lovano, Jimmy McGriff, and many others. And he writes for several publications, including Living Blues, and has authored the award-winning book Blues All Day Long, The Jimmy Rogers Story, and is currently writing a biography of blues great Taj Mahal. Most recently, Dr. Goins authored the liner notes to the Ace Records box set, John Lee Hooker, documenting the Sensation recordings 1948 to 1952. So let me turn it over to you, Wayne.
Well, thank you so much, for having me here. Just like Bobby, I want to thank the UNC lecture series for having me speak. Steve and Elaine, thank you for having me here. I want to start by acknowledging these two wonderful gentlemen, legends in their own right. And we're going to defer first to the elder statesman who we are so fortunate to still have here with us, that we can see him and speak to him and embrace him in our hearts as he gives us the great music that he has given us. Brother Bobby, I want to tell you, it is such an honor to have met you and got a chance to hang out with you a little bit. And I want to go all the way back to 1948 when Boogie Chillin' came out. And earlier we were talking about how you actually met John Lee Hooker in 1951. I think this is a good place to start, because this whole thing is about John Lee Hooker and the basically how Boogie Chillin' pretty much started it all for him. So you're the closest thing to that man. And I want to just have you talk a little bit and share with the audience what that experience was like to actually meet John Lee in 1951, which was really only 3 years after that legendary recording on Modern Records, on a Modern label, Boogie Chillin'. Could you talk to us?
Yeah, I can tell you about it, and I apologize to his family now because John Lee Hooker and I met him going to a Muddy Waters birthday party. If I'm right, I believe Muddy Waters was coming to be 28 or 29 years old. He was real old, 28 or 29 years old. I forgot his birthday party at 10:30, and I was hanging out with John Lee, him and Calvin Carter. And I said, "Oh man, I'm supposed to go to the birthday party." And he said, "We got time to go up there." But he said, "Well, I'm not going now. You go ahead on." And I went by Muddy Water birthday party, and Muddy Water was hanging out the window. He said, "Man, I thought y'all was coming on." He said, "Where's John Lee?" I said, "I don't know, man. He's got something else he want to do. I ain't hanging out with some girls or whatever." I just joked him off like that. He said, "Well, come around to the back." When I went upstairs, Muddy Water had about 15, 20 ladies up in the room with him. All of them had to dress up to whatever. You could see everything but Chicago. And they was old ladies. I asked one lady how old she was. She said, "I'm 26." The other lady said, "I'm 30." The other lady said she was 33 years old. One said, "I'm 35." I sneaked out the back door and left and went back where John Lee Hooker was, because the lady was too old, 35. How about that? 35 years old. That's how young I was with John Lee Hooker too. We leaving the ladies 35 years old to go back to hang out with John Lee again because the ladies too old. I said that to let you know how young I was, how foolish I was. But John Lee Hooker had something I wanted. And he had this thing about him, and the ladies loved it, man. And the men liked the way he played, the ladies loved it. I want to be like John Lee Hooker, man. I didn't want all the band around me, all the musicians. I wanted that front man like John Lee Hooker sitting there by himself, boom, 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 a Boogie Chillin'. That's what I wanted. And I kind of stole the lick from him in his style and kind of put it in my own words and way of doing it. So you hear a lot of Bobby Rush song, you hear a lot of John Lee influence on the things that I do. So I want to thank John Lee for what he put in me to make me who I am today.
That is such a wonderful testimony. And I think it's really great that you can share a story like that with our audience and our viewers. That's not the kind of story that you would hear just any old kind of day. I mean, that's a very, very rare and precious story. And I'm so glad I asked it. And I'm so glad you answered it. I'm going to ask another question.
I'm sorry about the girls are too old for me. Sorry about the 35 years old.
That's my favorite part of the story. I'm going to ask a question of both of you. And this is something that I think is a really rare opportunity to ask, and most people might not even think to ask. But I can hear the influence of John Lee Hooker in both of y'all's playing. But one of the things that most people don't really think about, and I'm gonna toss the baton to you, Alvin. The foot stomping that's crucial to the groove
Yeah.
for playing music with John Lee Hooker. Both of you guys, y'all do it without even thinking about it. It's just automatic, but most people don't understand it. If you don't include that foot stomping, you ain't doing John Lee Hooker. Alvin, take it away.
That's correct. Sure. I mean, I think for us as players, you know, after a year or so, whatever, playing, it becomes a second nature. And you know, I thought about that earlier, actually, before we got started here, what I was leaving out, and I forgot to get like plywood in here and mic that up, you know, which would have added a little bit more depth and flavor to the experience, I'm sure. But yeah, that's an integral part of the hooker sound for sure.
Yeah, Bobby, you got anything to say about that?
Yeah, but you know, without the foot and the thumb and the hand, it's no John Lee Hooker. Without the foot and the hand, no me, because I'm a country boy. You know, it's easier for me than it probably is for Youngblood because, you know, I got a size 12. That's easy for me when I pick these 12s up and put them down. Man, that's some drumming there, man. I'm the country
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, you can hear the percussion coming through loud and clear on yours.
Yeah.
But you know,
You know,
I
I'm
want to.
size 15.
Oh, size 15. Okay. All
Well,
right.
you beat me out in some category, you know.
Hey, Bobby, Mama and them said, hey.
Tell them hi for me, man. I love you much, man.
All right.
I want to ask you guys another question. Now we talked about the foot stomping. Now I'm going to take it to the right hand. In the right hand technique, that some people back in the day, you know, y'all, Bobby will recognize this phrase I'm about to use. They call it frailing.
That's right.
You know, and that goes all the way back to the gospel church in the country.
That's right.
That's exactly. I mean, Pop
All the
Staples
way-
have that technique down.
Yeah, with the
All
thumb,
the way
with
back to the
the
boat.
thumb and the finger, thumb and the finger. You know,
The
that's right.
thumb and the index finger.
That's right.
So can you guys elaborate a little bit on the technique and the development of that and all the subtleties that come with that? Because there's a right way and wrong way to do that, you know.
Well, first of all, the way I started with my finger because I couldn't find a pick. I couldn't find a. Then when I found one, I couldn't afford it. Then it started. Then it got comfortable to me doing it. You know, what I'm talking about? Doing it, and I play with my fingers, man. That's what I do. And Youngblood can play probably with a finger and a pick, but I just don't play with picks, man. I just fumbles with the pick, you know. So it's my finger, and then I learned to do the strong end with it, you know. And coming from the gospel thing or whatever you want to call it, the sanctified stuff, and coming, you know, and it just come natural with me, man. You know, like the foot, come natural.
And Youngblood, I saw a technique that you had where you were using the thumb and the index finger, but I also saw that you kind of joined your second and third finger together to do a little bit of counter melody inside that bass line and that treble line, right?
Yeah, you know, it's just another thing that becomes second nature. Yeah, I like to say, you know, that thumb thing probably goes all the way back to the boat, man. You know.
That's right. That's right.
And you know, I definitely got that that Charlie Patton thing going on. But I remember when I was I think I was about 10 years old. Yeah, Christmas Day, 1973. My brother Rick had got a new guitar for Christmas, and we were having breakfast, and my Uncle Reuben shows up, and he picks up my brother's guitar and he tuned it to some open chord. I don't even know what it was. I didn't know what an open chord was in 1973, but he's got there and he started going on something like that. I mean, my brother sat there with a jaw dropping, you know, hey, what was that? You know, and sooner or later we kind of figured out what it was all about, you know, followed suit.
Those are great answers, and I'm so glad that the viewers are tuning in and they're starting to submit some questions. I want to ask you guys and represent some of the viewing audience. We have a question for Youngblood. Are you doing Travis picking? Thumb doing the bass line, and there's a person that says that they play harmonica, and they wanted to know if are you doing Travis picking?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm just doing trial and error picking. You know, like I call it, just kind of get your hands flopping around and see where they land. And you know, after so long, you know, I mean, I haven't been doing this that long when you know in comparison to like Bobby, but you know, I've been doing it 42 years, I guess, something like that. And you know, after that long, you finally get your hands landed in some spots that make sense, you know, right? Rather than just, hey, what did I just do? But I mean, you know, it's kind of a little long process. But yeah, I don't have any you know analyzed name for anything I'm doing. I mean, you know.
Here's a comment and a question for Brother Bobby.
Yes.
It says, hi, Bobby. We talked about how blues is the father of rock and roll, but it is the daddy no one wants to talk about. So many powerful Black artists could help on living legacies and profit. Why do we not see this happening? How could we uplift the Black legacy?
Well, that's a good question because I like to do it, but it don't seem like the younger guys, younger blues players coming along, especially the black guy, want to be involved with blues. And I would love to do that because the blues is the mother of all music. And I tell it everywhere I go. If you don't like the blues, you probably don't like your mama because it's the mother of all music.
There's a lot of truth in that. There's a lot of truth in that, I gotta say. I'm gonna pass it back to.
And for that caller, I would love to do this, love to do more of it. And I've just got to find people who wants to know about the blues, want to learn about it, respect it, and love it because it's the mother of music. It's nothing. Most young guy, black guy now, thinking the blues is something less than something else, and that's the wrong way to look at it, you know. And blues is all right to sing the blues, all right to have the blues, because the blues don't necessarily have to be something sad or something all the time happy. The same thing make you laugh, the same thing make you cry. Blues is music, man.
Amen. Lil Milton said, hey, the blues is all right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I got a question for Alvin. How does Alvin decide the guitar he uses for each tune, and can he speak a little bit about his gear?
Yeah, you know, for the most part, like today, I was actually digging up guitars that actually worked, and that's how it that's how it usually is. You know, you don't have a frayed wire or a bad jack or whatever, and it's working good. You know, it's all after so long, I get to figure out, you know, which instrument lends itself to which song or tuning. You know, individually. So like, I mean, today I used 4 guitars. You know, I used this Epiphone Wilshire for open G tuning, and used this National for open D tuning, and also I have this this Fraulini acoustic guitar that Charlie Patton sang, and a Les Paul for when I was playing Queen Bee. Just because, you know, there's this old picture of Mr. Hooker playing a gold top Les Paul. All the old original people played them. You know, John Lee Hooker, Sister Rosetta, Howlin' Wolf's band, Hubert Sumlin and Jody Williams. You know, they all played those guitars before they were, you know, the big popular, expensive, more expensive than a house guitar and all that stuff.
Right. I heard you playing a little tremolo with the Les Paul. Was that on an amp or was that a pedal you got sitting on the floor?
Oh, that was an old Sears amp from the 60s.
Okay,
Old,
so that's a
old
trip. That's
Sears,
yeah, old Sears Silvertone.
yeah, old Sears 1482. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question for Bobby.
Yes.
This fan says, I've been a big Bobby Rush fan for many years. Could you talk about your thoughts about the music industry and how an artist like John Lee Hooker could make it in the music industry as basically a solo artist? John Lee Hooker recorded for many, many different recording companies. Obviously, many of those contracts proved to be not very beneficial to the recording artist, even after John Lee Hooker had many top hits.
Yeah, it's the same way here, but I think now a lot of things that changed a little bit better. I think we understand contracts a little bit better now than we did then because I don't know everything about them now, but I know certainly more than I know back in the days. And what we have to do is make sure that we get the right kind of contract that we don't sell out, that we cross over but don't cross out. And I think now what we have to do now as men, the one that's my age and a little older, and one that who knows better, is kind of reach back and try to teach young men about the business side of this business because it is a music business. The business side has been left undone on people that ain't got into the business side. They sign some papers that, including myself, that you shouldn't sign, and you sign your life away a lot of time. So what we got to do, get on the business side of it, because it is a business. It is a business.
There's a part two to that question, a little bit related to the Chicago era that we talked about. Could you talk about how much time John Lee Hooker spent in Chicago? He had a recording contract with VJ, which produced numerous albums that sold well. Did John Lee Hooker spend much time with the Chicago blues musicians such as Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Elmore James, and Willie Dixon? It seems to me most of the Chicago blues musicians were part of a blues band, whereas John Lee Hooker was more of an individual solo artist. Could you speak to that?
He was an individual solo artist, so was I, and he didn't spend that much time as a jam kind of a guy with Muddy Water, Howlin' Wolf. Not he saw him, but not as much as Howlin' Wolf saw Muddy Water. Muddy Water saw Howlin' Wolf, and the kind of in that interchange like that. But he was with VJ Records, and most of the other guys was at Chess and Checker, which was we were friends to each other, but that was a division between Chess and VJ Record with Calvin Carter and Vivian Carter, because that was competition, I suppose, among the two people who owned the record company. That wasn't as nicer blood between the two of them that you would love to see, and that was some distance because everybody was trying to get a hit record. Everybody trying to make the company the best company and the biggest company. So that was a little competition. So John Lee Hooker kind of was shut off between the relationship with some of the artists who worked on one label and he was on another label.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, VJ was literally right across the street on Michigan Avenue. Yeah.
Yeah, just less than a 2-minute walk.
Yeah.
2-minute walk. You know.
A question for Youngblood. People seem to be really interested. So the viewing audience seem to be really interested in your picking technique. A question says, is there a correlation between the intricate picking style of the Piedmont blues region and rappers doing the triplets in their vocal style? Is it a West African influence?
You got me beat on that one.
Well, you know, if I may, I want to say, I will sort of give a general answer, which is all roads leads back to the motherland.
Yeah, right. Back to the boat.
All roads lead back to Africa, Mother Africa. That's my short answer.
Right.
Let's see. I'm not sure I don't know if we have any other ones that I didn't get to. I think I got to most of them. I also might need to find out, Steve, how much time do we have? How are we doing on time?
Oh, maybe a couple more questions.
Okay, I think I've asked pretty much all of the questions that's listed here. I got a few, I got one question I want to ask the two of you together. You can answer. When we talk about the influence on John Lee's his music on your style, one thing I wanted to make a comment, and this is for both of you. Youngblood, you stuck to the sort of the single chord groove that John Lee did, but Bobby, when you wrote your songs and the way you play and even the way you sing your phrases, I can hear the 1-4-5 chord progression in your groove. Can y'all both speak to the difference? It's like you came from two branches on the same tree. You did?
Yeah. Well, if I'm answering first, I kind of modify kind of things that I do. It's the same thing, but it's like modification. It's all, and I kind of set it up like this. When I was a boy, we didn't have no inside toilet. We had to go outside to a toilet. I'm going somewhere with this. When we went outside to the outside toilet, they looked bad, they smelled bad. Now you got inside toilet, the modification of it. It looks good, smell good, but what you do in them is the same. Now we got a chord structure that if you enter E, blood knows that if you enter E, you go to the A, to the B, back to the E. Well, that's a modification of it. Johnny Lee Hooker didn't do that all the time. And when he did do it, he did it on his own terms. It wasn't in sync. It wasn't like 1, 2, 3 chain, 1, 2, 3 chain. It wasn't in pattern. That don't mean it's right or wrong. It just wasn't in pattern. I tried to do things modification wise so it could be written. So I got 4 bars here, 4 bars here, 4 bars here, in the 16 bar, turn around, whatever. I tried to measure it up in bars. And that's the modification of the music. That don't mean it's right, don't mean it's wrong. But sometimes the pattern wasn't like that with Johnny Hooker. Sometimes he changed whenever he felt it, and when he felt it, it felt right. It don't mean it's wrong or right. It just means that's his style. And I tried to put my style in John Lee Hooker, his thought and mind.
There we go. We're gonna have Youngblood make his last comment, and then we're gonna turn it back over to our host. So Youngblood, make your statement about that, and then we're gonna turn it back over to Steve.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that's sort of the essence of Hooker is like when you get into him and you get deep down into it, and when you're listening, like Bobby says, the musicians who play with him, some know, some don't. It's like, and this is not just John Lee Hooker, but with a few of the other guys, Honey Boy Edwards and stuff. It was like, if you're gonna play with them, you change when they change, or I've seen some train wrecks with Hooker and some of the other guys where you had all the hot shot guys who were gonna go ahead and they were gonna lead the thing, and it's no.
Yeah, they tried to stick to that 16 bar blues, and John Lee go when John Lee want to go.
Anybody who knows John Lee Hooker's music knows you change when he changed.
That's right. Well, I want to thank both of you for being here. I want to thank Elaine and Steve for having us, and it's been a real pleasure. I'm so happy to be able to spend some time with you guys, and I must say, Brother Bobby, I hope I get a signed copy of your new book.
You will get it. All you got to do is get in touch with me, and Elaine, the host knows. Get that number and give me a call today, and I get it to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
In fact, everybody on the panel, just make sure I get the information and I get it to you right away. Everybody.
Bless you all. Bless you both. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, folks. Be well. Thank you all very much.
Steve, is yours.
Yeah, thanks so much. And I want to thank Dr. Wayne Goins, Alvin, and Bobby. And thanks to our audience for tuning in and for your questions. Just want to wish you all, a happy holidays and stay well. And we look forward to seeing you next year.
All right. Blood, good to see you, my buddy.
Be safe. Be well.
Thank you. Same